Greetings, avant-garde, socially conscious, independent Aquarius. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And now I'm going to do the June 2020 tarot reading and astrological transits for the sun sign of Aquarius. Actually, I recommend you watch the videos for your sun, moon, and rising because all three are important points, and if you watch all three of those videos, it'll give you the fullest scope. But if you don't know your sun, moon, and rising, then definitely contact me for a reading. Everyone should have their chart read with a real astrologer at least once in life, especially a conceptual Aquarius like yourself. So as we enter the month of June, Aquarius, we see the Six of Pentacles reversed. So it looks like there is either financial concerns, there might be concerns over a business contract or something, but it looks like maybe someone is feeling like they're not getting their fair share in a contract or negotiation. You're covered by the Eight of Swords, which may be a feeling of feeling trapped or tied up in a situation. Sometimes this is more about your own thoughts. The swords correspond to the element of air, so it's the realm of words, thoughts, ideas. You might be feeling tied up by that. You were crossed by the Two of Cups, so it looks like your relationship is very prominent theme in the month of June. And the basis is the Knight of Wands reversed. And so this is a man who's looking uncertain. The ground under his feet is unstable. He's unpredictable. He's flaky. What's leaving is the King of Cups reversed. So this can be a man who is a romantic figure, or a man being out of alignment romantically. Maybe that's turning around. It could also be a man who is creatively blocked, that the block is being removed, or it could be a creative man that's going away, something like that. That's why it's best to have one-on-one readings, because each card has a scale of meanings, and when you're working with a reader, part of the ability of the reader is to tune into where on the scale of that card you fall. But in this context, I'm just doing it very generally. What could come into being is the Ten of Cups reversed. So this is a family upset that could take place around the 13th through the 15th. Sometimes this is the unraveling of a relationship, or sometimes it's just a more general family upset. It can be an emotional situation. What will come into being around mid-month, we see the Lovers reversed. So for those who are in a relationship, it could be not seeing eye to eye with your lover. It could be maybe just not feeling sexual with your lover. That's another thing. So it's not necessarily that you're not seeing eye to eye, but maybe you just don't want to make love. For those Aquariuses who are single, it could be that you're longing for a lover, and so you're feeling out of alignment that way. Any of those ways it could manifest. Fears or insecurities are trying to hold it in the light, as you see. The fears or insecurities are the Seven of Rods. So this is about holding your own in the face of adversity and different energy dynamics that are coming your way. Or everything that's on your plate. It could be just that you have a lot on your plate and you're holding your own in that context too. Others see you as not working. Maybe you're not working at all, or maybe there's someone who sees you as not working hard enough on something. Positive feelings, the Ace of Cups. So this is a beautiful card. It's a very poetic, loving card. It's about the birth of anything related to love. So this could be the birth of a baby. It could be the birth of a new love relationship. It could be the birth of an inspiration, the birth of hope, the birth of a creative idea. Any of those ways this card could manifest, and it looks like that is happening for Aquarius towards the end of the month, and Aquarius feels very positive about this. And the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is showing a woman in a very generous mood at the end of the month of June. So that is the tarot overview for the sign of Aquarius for June 2020. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the planetary transits. June 2nd, the asteroid Pallas Athene goes retrograde in Capricorn. For Aquarius in general, this is going to be happening in your 12th house, the very mysterious 12th house of hidden karma. And so, yeah, there's a lot of secrets here in this house. It's a very spiritual house, and this is going to be an area where you are going to be re-strategizing. June 3rd is Vesta entering Cancer, the asteroid Vesta. And this is entering the 6th house, and this is the house of health and fitness. It's also sometimes called the house of service. And so there's going to be devotion for Aquarius in around those areas of health and fitness, and possibly also of service when you during this period for the rest of the month. And June 5th is the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. Lunar eclipses are very powerful turning points. Lunar eclipses happen during full moons. For Aquarius, this is happening in the 11th house of friends, groups, organizations, business associates. So this can bring up the shadow. The lunar eclipse illuminates the shadow in ourselves or in those around us. This can be shocking when this happens. The lunar eclipse is a time of endings. It's a time of culminations. It's a time of releasing. It's a time of letting go. So if you're interested in knowing where this lunar eclipse is happening in your personal chart, this is a great time for a reading because there are 2 eclipses happening in June. So these are big turning points that are happening for us collectively, but also manifesting in our individual lives in very specific ways. June 18th, after the second half of the month, we're having Mercury retrograde in Cancer. When Mercury is retrograde in Cancer, Mercury is the planet of communication. Cancer is very sensitive. Cancer is very emotional. Cancer can be very insecure. Cancer can be very protective. So these kinds of issues in communication can be stirring up in the second half of the month when Mercury goes retrograde in Cancer. For many Aquariuses, this is going to be manifesting again. This could be the house of health and fitness. This could be the house of your day-to-day routine. This can be the house of where you are of service in life. So that's where Mercury in general for Aquarius will be stirring things up. But if you want to know where it will be in your personal chart, contact me and we can read about that. June 20th, the sun enters Cancer. So from June 20th all the way through Cancer season, in mid-July, these issues will be really highlighted for Aquarius. Health and fitness, service, duty, day-to-day routine. And June 21st is the new moon annular solar eclipse in Cancer. And so new moons are great times for setting the intentions, planting the seeds that we want to manifest and grow. I personally do an altar here. If you're interested in being included on my altar, it is a service that I provide. You can contact me to talk more about that. But in general, you can do it yourself by very clearly writing down your intentions around these Cancerian themes: the home, the mother, your moods. For women, it's around the breasts. Any things like this are Cancerian. Any feminine issues, you could set intentions around that. Again, in your personal chart, whatever house it falls in would be another area where you set those intentions. And June 23rd, Neptune goes retrograde in Pisces. Neptune is one of the transpersonal kind of outer planets. It becomes personal when it aspects something in our chart. So Neptune transits come to life when you know your own chart. In general, Neptune is floating around the second house for Aquarius, which could create some fogginess around the areas of finances and possessions, or it could create some fogginess around values and self-esteem. June 25th, Venus, and that Neptune transit will be happening for a while. So this is something that is slow moving and subtle. June 25th, Venus goes direct after being retrograde for the first 3 weeks of the month. So for the first 3 weeks of June, we are still very much dealing with all of these Venus retrograde issues. Venus is the planet of relationships, it's the planet of attraction, it's the planet of beauty, it can be also money. Gemini is all about communication. So this is all writing and talking and learning around relationships. This is, there's a lot of nostalgia is coming up for people in Venus retrograde, reminiscing with old friends, reminiscing with your spouse or lover about the past. The shadow side could be old, unresolved communication issues coming up with friends, or old, unresolved communication issues coming up with your spouse or partner to be worked out. For writers, there could be writer's block during Venus retrograde. For creative people, there's two sides. For creative people, there could be a block with new projects that you're working on during this time, but old projects that you've put away, it could be a very beneficial time to bring those out and work on them. So that's all the Venus retrograde kind of stuff. They say don't get cosmetic surgery under Venus retrograde. Don't make any extravagant big ticket item purchases during Venus retrograde, those kinds of things. June 27th, Mars enters Pisces at the end of June. Collectively, we're going to be feeling a huge push of motivation, a huge push of energy to passionately charge forward. There will be a lot of pioneering spirit happening during this period when Mars enters Aries, when Aries enters Mars, when Mars enters Aries, blah, all these words are starting to go in different directions for me. But yes, also Mars is our passion, it's our libido, so we could be feeling like on the conquest at this time, we could be feeling horny at this time. Any of those kinds of things could be happening around when Mars enters Aries through that period, and that will be going on until July, so definitely follow up with that video to see how it carries forward. But and then June 30th, Jupiter is forming a conjunct with Pluto. This is a very, very powerful aspect. It was already exact once this year on April 4th. This is the second time that it is forming an exact, and collectively, Jupiter is expansion. Pluto is death and destruction. So collectively, we were experiencing a big surge in the virus during that time. This is something that we should be mindful of, that could be happening again when it forms an exact on June 30th. So be safe, take care of yourself. But Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions are not necessarily all bad in our personal charts, even though on the collective it can create a real big expansion of transformation. In our personal charts, it can create an expansion of transformation in an area of our life, which is usually a very good thing, depending on which house it falls in your chart, depending on what planets it aspects for you. But it could be a place where a powerful person steps in, or a powerful event happens that then transforms your life in some really significant way. It could also be the expansion of power and wealth for people who are already in a position of, power and wealth. They can expand that, and we want that to happen for the good side, so that can then help others. That's the whole point of that, we would hope. And so that's the end of the month. Again, we can get a lot more specific if I have your chart and we look at your chart specifically. But if you liked this video, give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a don't like. Please follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. And thank you for joining me, Aquarius. Please share this with other Aquariuses that you know. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful June, Aquarius.